Welcome back to Everyday Hockey, presented by DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports. Don't forget to use promo code THPN upon sign up for a bonus. And if you're a regular user, plug that promo code in for a weekly deal. Today, we talk about NHL players potentially going to the 2022 Winter Olympics. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Well, let's start off this conversation, Dylan, with Ron McLean and Gary Bettman having a good old chat there on Sportsnet.
Man, I love when Ron McLean and Gary get together because you can tell there's a little bit of tension between the two, and there always is. But some interesting information coming out of this conversation in regards to the Olympics and some concerns that Gary Bettman brought up.
Yeah, so let's just tear the Band-Aid right off and dive into it. Gary Bettman and the NHL have actually allowed for NHL players to attend the Olympics. If everyone can recall, last year, right at actually the height of when the pandemic arose and the NHL was scrambling when they took their break, the CBA and the NHL actually extended their agreement, and one note in there was that the NHL players would be allowed to attend the Winter Olympics. But a caveat was that since the NHL is going to shut down their season, pause their season, essentially, turning off the revenue taps, that the NHLPA is responsible for certain things like insurance for getting families, to the Olympics, those type of payments where the NHL, and in my opinion, fairly does not want to pay for.
Yeah, insurance is a big one, and Bettman brought that up a couple times in the conversation with Ron McLean, bringing up the fact that not only is it going to be costly to insure all these players, it's going to be hard to even get insurance for these players. COVID-19, yes, we're at the end of it, but it is still a factor, especially when you're talking about insurance and professional athletes, and then the other factors that work into it. So yes, I agree. Like, the NHL should not front the bill for this. There's no return for the NHL for going to the Olympics short term. Long term, obviously building the game.
Yeah.
But short term, you know what? I think the PA should be able to figure this out.
And you hit the nail on the head. COVID insurance, because that's going to have to be a thing, because this isn't just a North American tournament with European and international players who obviously play for the respected NHL team. Those players live here, they've quarantined here, they've gone through NHL protocol. The Olympics is a whole other bag, because not only are you playing against international Olympic ice hockey players, you're going to be in the Olympic Village, you're going to be in the town with just thousands of their athletes, their teams, their families. It's just a COVID cesspool. I know we're getting to the end of it, but there's still going to be risks even in February of next year.
No, I mean, we've seen, professional athletes in North America, still get COVID-19 and whatnot. You go to the Olympics, some of these athletes are pretty much amateur athletes, and they might come from developing countries. So yeah, there is a risk factor there.
No, absolutely. And let's quickly talk about how much this is needed for the sport as a whole. Because you just mentioned there, it's great for growing the game. I know the Olympic Committee and the IIHF said that the last couple rounds when the NHL players did not participate, that is going to also help grow the game. I'm sorry. It was a joke. The last Olympics. The 2018 was a joke. I mean, it was Canada's C- team, and no disrespect for those type of players who are playing professional hockey elsewhere and who earned the right to put on that sweater. We obviously rooted for them as Canadians, but it was a joke, man. The Olympic athletes of Russia were competing. It wasn't even Team Russia because of their doping scandal. Germany won silver. Again, no disrespect, but come on, I'm pretty sure even England won a game. Like, are you kidding me? This is not Olympic hockey.
No, you want to see best on best, and you wait 4 years to see this tournament, right? The World Championships, you have those tournaments. Is it really best on best? No, it isn't. And guys, the difference with the Olympics, guys actually care. They're playing for their country. This isn't an all-star game. These are guys actually going for the gold medal. And I agree. I mean, just to grow the game, you want Sidney Crosby. You want Nathan McKinnon. You want Connor McDavid. You want all these young superstars in front of the eyes of the international community. I'm sorry, having the C- or C team, whatever you called that, out in front of people, that's not going to grow the game.
Gilbert Brulé, he ain't growing the game anymore. I'm telling you that much. Absolutely not. And also, I think the whole vibe of the Winter Olympics, let's be honest, ice hockey is the star of that show. And when the stars don't perform, if they're not even there to dress, I felt like the entire Olympics was a little bit watered down in the sense that that vibe wasn't there like it was in 2014, 2018, and dating back to when the NHL players first suited up for the Olympics.
I agree, and typically the gold medal for men's ice hockey is handed out right at the end of the Olympics, so it's kind of like it tops off the Olympics. It's a big event, you know, it's a tournament style compared to some other events in the Olympics, and I agree. When the NHL isn't there, we miss that kind of vibe from the whole event.
And we're Canadians, North Americans. We're not even saying that like it has to be Canada, US at the end for us to be excited for that game.
It just has to be Canada, somebody at the end.
No, but honestly, bias aside, if it's Russia and Finland, as long as the best on best is playing, I'm okay with that. As a fan of hockey, I'm okay with that.
And it's great, and it might suck as a Canadian, but now there's 5-6 teams that are legit contenders every single year. I know in the past, every once in a while a country would kind of come out of the blue, but now there's a solid group of teams that could win the gold medal. Canada, I mean, who knows where they end up? They could walk out without a medal. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean...
But I'm going to call it. They're going to win gold, though, baby.
Canada-US finals, again, like in 2010, that was unbelievable, especially on home soil, not only in Canada, Dylan, but in our home province of British Columbia.
Love it.
All right, that's it for the video today. Tell us what Olympic gold medalist was in the video in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.